The biggest mistake people make when launching their Skool community is building everything in private, opening the doors, and then thinking that people are just magically going to find them. It doesn't work that way. One of our partners, Rob Dial, did something a bit different. He recruited founding members first during a soft launch before his official launch of the community. What did that do? Well, it brought in 100 members after just a 2-hour workshop. 100 paying members in a 2-hour workshop. What that's going to allow us to do is further build his membership, build his community around those founding members for the official launch that's not even coming until next month. Now, what was their actual result of that? Already ranking in place number 13 in his specific category on the Skool Games leaderboard before the official launch even began. In this video, we're going to be walking you through the exact 10-item launch checklist that you should have prior to launching your Skool so that you're ready to hit the ground running without making beginner mistakes. If you're about to launch your Skool community, or maybe you launched and it was crickets, this video is for you. Keep watching. A lot of what we're going to be talking about today is a minimum viable product, not needing to have this thing polished and ready to go. Like we said with Rob Dial, do we have stuff in the classroom so that someone could go in and get a ton of value? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. It's amazing. It's so valuable. But the reality of it is it everything we know it's going to become? We would rather build it around our members getting real-time feedback than build something we think they want or think they need, and then they end up not even using any of it. So I want you to just go into this episode with that frame of we're going to start this out with a minimum viable product, because I think one of the biggest mistakes you can make is go film 50 videos or entire core curriculum that your people don't even want or need. You just wasted a lot of time prior to your actual launch, when I would rather you get valuable member feedback and build it specifically with what they actually want. Now we're going to jump into the 3 phases of launch. Number 1 is your pre-launch planning. Number 2 is your launch checklist. And number 3 is post-launch. This is really days 1 through 10. I recommend that you have at least 10 days to promote your thing prior to actually opening the doors and allowing people to come inside.
Yeah, I recommend if you have a specific avatar that you know would benefit from this community that you're building and you're about to launch, I would 100% make a list. Who are those people? Maybe they're my contacts in my phone. Maybe they're at my local gym. Maybe they're at my local coffee shop. Maybe they're friends of mine on Instagram, right? And I would essentially make this list and then reach out to each and every single person individually. Let's say Jennifer, specifically, she wants to get better at pickleball. And you are actually creating a pickleball community. You now have that leverage where you can reach out to Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer, I'm actually starting this community. I really feel like you would benefit from it. I know the last time we spoke, you explained X, Y, and Z struggles. We're actually going to be going over those struggles and how to overcome them in this community. I feel like you'd be a great fit for it. Would you be interested in joining? But the main thing is to come up with that list of people, whether it's 10 people, 50 people, 100 people, and customize that DM to them.
Yeah, so really the first thing to summarize is you need your first 10 plus founding members. This kind of touches on what we did in Magnetic Memberships, which was specifically get a list together of 5 to 10 founding members. They were people that we coached live every week in a group call, actually added value. I actually gave them our course. So I gave them what would have been considered a group coaching program as a thank you for being one of the founding members. And they really set that foundation for our program. Now, one of the things that we don't want to do is invite random people into our community that might never be active engagers, like people who just want to support you, like your mom, for example. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is make sure you're actually inviting people who would be an excellent fit for your membership that you can then start building it around them. So I want you to think 80% done, not 100% done, because we're going to take it the rest of the way once we've got that feedback from your existing members.
The second thing you want to do is plan your 10-day launch plan.
Yeah, so this is where we're not just, once again, putting up that our Skool is launched after it's launched and just saying, hey, you all should come and join. It's like building the hype, show them behind the scenes footage, show them what you've been creating and building, maybe behind the scenes of, hey, I've been working on this really cool course, this really cool program. I have this event coming up, you should come to it. I'm giving away a GoPro, I'm giving away my coaching program, I'm giving away one-on-one coaching sessions. Like, share the hype, build the hype for days up to you actually opening the doors to your Skool community. The first time your followers hear about your Skool should not be the day that you open the doors. Number 3 is you want to create your welcome post with a welcome video. In your welcome post, you really want to set expectations and set the culture right from the beginning. So this was one of the big things that Rob did with his video, is making it clear, look, we're not just in this for the next couple weeks, we're in this for the next couple of years together, really setting the tone, setting expectations, letting him know what he expects of them, that he wants them showing up on calls. And in order to get the most results here, you need to be putting in the work. You need to be showing up live. You need to be answering questions, being active, engaged in the community, helping and supporting each other. And so creating that welcome post, tagging new members in it, knowing that you're going to do that, this needs to be a pinned post in your Skool community with a video of you so they can see your face and feel your energy.
Giving them a call to action. What do you want them to do? Is it to click the link that you have provided in the post? Is it to go ahead and be like, hey, where's everyone from in here? We have members from all around the globe. Go ahead and put where you're from down in the comments. Giving them just that one call to action.
What we're doing inside of Magnetic Memberships, you'll see that Steve is primarily the one engaging in the community, being with our members, like listening, providing value, getting to know them. He's doing that on a daily basis. And so a good community owner is going to be tapped in to what's going on in there. Now, I'm not seen as much inside of the community. That's not because I don't care about the community. I love the community, but I listen through Steve. And also I'm the one focused on the team, focused on the back end, focused on building out the course content, adding value to our paid members, coaching our paid members. And so it's kind of like this yin and yang of like, he supports us in that way. I support us on the back end and more the business infrastructure, the community infrastructure, making sure that things are actually built out to continue providing the value that members are seeking on the front end. And so it's interesting because a lot of times members don't necessarily see me on the front end, but you gotta understand, like, I'm spending all my time on the back end of the community actually building what people say they want.
Yeah.
The fourth item on the checklist is really uploading 3 to 5 really valuable quick win resources. So now if you're like, Jamie, well, what do I actually upload into my classroom? Well, I believe get them a quick win immediately. You might have a video, you might have a guide, you might have a workbook, a checklist, whatever it is, add that in there and give them that inside of your onboarding module. It doesn't need to be anything more complicated than that. And even let your members know, hey, I'm gonna be building more around you. What is it that you'd like to learn from me next? And just be open to their feedback.
Yeah, I think that's really important that you brought that in. You know, it's funny because whether you have 5 members or 10 members, people look at it as a numbers game. And in business, of course, from the financial side, it is. But when it comes to community and connection, look at like those 5 members that you have in there and be like, wow, if I had 500, I wouldn't be able to connect with these 5 people as deep as I would with 500 people. So just remember that. And I think it's so easy to be like, oh, if I hit 50 members, if I hit 100 members, if I hit 1,000 members, I made it. But then the reality sets in and it's actually in a sense harder. So I would say if you're in this situation where you only have a certain amount of members, look at it actually in a way that you have leverage to make a deeper connection with those members. And that's something I wanted to bring to light because when I first joined Magnetic Memberships, we had 120 members. The depth for me personally was easier to make more connections in the sense of the deepness of it, where when you get to over 500, 1,000, 2,000, whatever, it looks kind of more of like a bigger operation. And even though the connection is there, it's not maybe as deep and as easy as it is when you have such little members. So just remember that, and I think that's important to bring in.
Yeah, I mean, and when I had just had those 120 members, a lot of them were either active clients, previous clients, or people that I knew deeply within my existing networks. And a lot of them I was able to get face-to-face with on live group calls. We had like a really strong group call foundation. And so maybe the community wasn't as active as it is now, but those relationships were really deep, which I think gave you a really good foundation to come in and then start improving the numbers side of things, if you will, and getting more people in because we had that solid foundation.
So one of the big things that I see is a big missed opportunity that people, when they launch, you know, they open the community, they have their classroom, but what they're not leveraging is the live calls, right? Right from the get-go, you want to set that culture, right? So what you do is maybe the day of launch, you're saying, hey, guys, you know, at 9 a.m., whatever time you want to have it, we're going to launch this community at this date, at this time. The doors are open. We're actually going to go live in 30 minutes or maybe to an hour after the doors are open, so we can answer any questions you might have, maybe provide you any guidance you might need to have, right? And things that you can essentially direct your members to, hey, this is what we want to see here. You know, this is how the leaderboards work. This is where the classroom's at. This is how you make a post. This is what categories you make different discussions in. So you're almost like, in a sense, you're organizing your community right from the start, and you might only have 10, 15, 30% of your members show up on those calls. But those are your core founding members. So just remember that.
At this point, you've done all the pre-launch planning, everything's ready to go. I want you to do one more test of everything as a member. test everything because you might think it's ready, something might have broke. So just test it all before you let people in the door.
But I know Skool just made a relatively recent feature where you can actually be a member, like you can test it as a member. So checklist number 7, build the hype and launch it everywhere. Every platform you have, every email list you have, and in your in-person network, let the whole world know about it.
Yeah, this could be like you were kind of touching on earlier. It's like send DMs to people, send personal Loom videos, like go live to your social media audience, send a blast to your email list. Just do all the things to say this thing is launching, this thing is launching. Here's the different aspects that you're going to get inside. Yep. Somebody might join for your community. Somebody might join for your next live call. They might join for the upcoming course or core curriculum that you're going to be filming. They might join for any one of those things. So hit it from different angles. But the core thing is you're launching something epic that's going to help them solve this one specific problem. Phase 3 is post-launch. What happens when you've gotten them already into the door, you've tagged them in your welcome post? Well, this is really where you come into play. This is number 8, where you want to be engaging with them immediately in the first 48 hours. What we've noticed is if people don't come in and really find a reason to come back, then they won't. So we want to make this a place where they want to keep touching base. They want to come back in. That's where onboarding is so important. But what else would you do in the first 48 hours to make sure this is a place someone wants to keep coming back?
You know, you're almost like you're navigating people where to go. So if they have any concerns, questions, you're getting those right off the bat. But then you're also essentially like, you have that live call that we just talked about, one of the steps there, and you're giving them actually a CTA at the end, right? And maybe it's like, hey, everyone go ahead and comment on this post, what you want to see most out of this community, or maybe where are you from? We have so many new members in here. Go ahead and make a post. I think ultimately within the first 48 hours as a community owner, community manager, you're essentially getting that energy and you're showing your members that you're here to support them, but you're also here to guide them and lead them in a way, right? So I think that's really important.
Item number 9 is making sure that you're setting up leaderboard rewards. Now, what we've noticed is if you have rewards that are really meaningful to your clients, to your members, they're gonna strive for those. They're gonna want to participate and engage more to work to unlock those things. So some of the things that we've seen work really well are things like free one-on-one coaching or an audit of some sort, or even a book or some type of physical gift that maybe they can only get. They can't buy it, but they have to unlock it in order to achieve that. So for Rob, for example, we're not really setting those up in advance. We're gonna be asking and putting our finger on the pulse inside of the community to see what they actually want to be unlocking on the leaderboards. Last but not least, checklist item number 10 is delivering your very first live call inside of your community. I'll kick this off by saying it's really important to get people showing up and let them know, like, hey, why are we here? What are we looking to create here? It really set that culture from day one. Some of the things we did when we launched our community, we actually had party poppers. So there was confetti that went everywhere. We gave away gifts and prizes and coaching programs, things like that, and just really anchored in the identity of our community and where we're going. And it really built the hype along the way.
Yeah, and I think another thing too, you know, when you have those people live with you, you have their attention, walking them, maybe sharing your screen and being like, hey, go into calendar in the Skool tab in your community and you'll see all these lives. I highly recommend you do this.
So now that we've gone over the checklist, we want to talk about the launch killers that you absolutely need to avoid. So the first thing I can think of is filming a whole bunch of content and thinking that that's what you need in order to actually launch. It's just not true. You need to start with a minimum viable product and launch it around your members.
Another thing I would say is, you know, you launched it, all the hype is there, and then the next week, the week after that, next month, it just kind of slowly goes down into a down spiral because you're not showing up. Maybe you haven't done the launch properly. Maybe there's no real clarity for your members on how to show up or where to show up. So I would say that's a really big part, is just the owner just stops showing up.
Another one is you have no promotion plan. So maybe you spent all this time building out the school and making the graphics, making it pretty, putting all this effort into your classroom and your community, and you set it up structurally, but then didn't tell anybody about it. You can't just build it and hope that you're just gonna put a link in your Instagram bio and suddenly it's just gonna blow up. It's just not the reality. And so we need to actually come up with a promotion plan, talk about it, build the hype. With your hype man Steve over here, he gave you a really good strategy to do that today.
Yeah, build the hype, but also deliver on the hype.
So if you want to download the 10-step launch checklist, there's going to be a direct link right below this video, and you can find it inside of the Magnetic Toolbox hosted inside of our free community, Magnetic Memberships, which also means you're unlocking live events that we host, a core curriculum of its own, and you can see behind the scenes how we built out our welcome posts and our member onboarding. So we hope to see you inside Magnetic Memberships, where we can continue adding value and pouring into you. We'll see you inside.
See you inside.